love like the emotional component of the intention that goes into making something for someone. It's like such a beautiful thing to be able to provide.
I like the ingredients to let them do their own talking.
The modern food landscape really like kind of deifies chefs and makes it seem it's not for regular people. And I want to go the opposite way and demystify and tell people to cook with what you've got.
Antoni, when did you first fall in love with cooking? Because I'm still blown away when I look at your cookbooks that you're self-taught. Because everything, it's like, Niswa this with the da-da-da, and it's also fancy. And I'm like, holy shit, how do you self-teach that? Like, I'm self-taught. My grandfather was a chef in Greece. My mom was a cafeteria cook. I'm self-taught. I know how to make my turkey, my stuffing, like the generic kind of things. But Niswa, I can't do that stuff.
Is that how I say it? Is that my accent?
No, it's not your accent.
I'm kidding.
When I saw Niswa something or other, I'm like, whoa, that just sounds so intimidating to me. Niswa anything.
I promise it isn't. You're literally buying ready smoked trout instead of the traditional tuna, and it couldn't be easier to make. But to answer your question, I think I've just been obsessed with food since I was a little kid. It's definitely in my family. Dinner was always like the most, there was something so sacred about it because we, didn't see each other for most of the day. We all didn't really get along. Communicating was not our forte in our home, but food was. And so when my mother would cook, we would just all sort of like sit and partake. And like, since I was a kid, like everyone would critique everything, and we'd already be talking about what we were going to have the next day. Whenever we would travel somewhere, it was always like, where is the farmer's market? Where is the marketplace that we can go to? What restaurants are we going to? Everything always revolved around food. And so I definitely feel like it's kind of embedded in my DNA. But I've just been obsessed with it since. And I only really started cooking when I was in college, when I was left to fend for myself because I had no one to make food for me. I moved in with a roommate. He had a fully furnished apartment. I was broke, and I was like, what am I going to do? I was like, no, I'm going to make food for him. So I started cooking kind of then, and I'm still figuring out. And that's what's so fun is like, no one knows everything unless you're Martha Stewart. And there's like always like a new technique or like a new culture that you can explore, or whether it's your own heritage or somebody else's. And so it just continues to fascinate me. And I think I am an inherently curious person. So I'm always learning.
So who are you learning from and how? Is it like YouTube? Is it famous chefs that like you've been learning from all these years?
It's all of the above. I've been obsessed with Food Network since I was a little kid. I would constantly I'd be running on a treadmill for like 40 minutes or like on an elliptical, and I'd be watching like Chopped and like their Food Network shows. When most kids were watching Saturday morning cartoons, like as soon as Care Bears was done, I was like looking for like Julia Child and Jacques Pepin on PBS, and just watching them like riff off of each other was like my favorite thing.
Hilarious.
I love watching people make food because on every single show, like they're always smiling, they're always happy, they're always making food for somebody.
Yeah.
I love like the emotional component of the intention that goes into making something for someone. It's like such a beautiful thing to be able to provide, not only for yourself, but also for someone else, right? Like what a wonderful act of service.
Yeah, I get that. I watched the Care Bears, and I appreciate that you actually even know what they are. And then I also loved watching Julia Child and cooking stuff, because food, the same thing for me, food is so important. I don't like wasting a meal on anything that isn't going to be amazing. And it doesn't mean it has to be high end. It just has to taste amazing.
100%. It's like, I'm not here for a granola bar. Like, it's not about sustenance for me. It's like, It's an experience.
It's got to be
an
experience.
And even if I'm scarfing down a bag of chips, I want them to be the type of chips that I want to have, and they bring me joy.
Yes.
Whether it's
food
pizza or whether it's a
joy.
Course. Totally.
I love it. Yeah. I understand, because I love when I do get to cook and I get to entertain, because I love that feeling of like, I worked so hard to create whatever it is, and then to see people salivating and moaning. If I hear a moan, I'm like in heaven, because I'm like, I did it. Usually it's me moaning in my own food.
Something.
I
like
moan
when
all the time.
Something for the first time, or like you get to be part of that with somebody where they try like a new flavor or new combination, and they're like, holy shit, like this is really awesome. And you get to be part of that for them.
Yeah. So what's your favorite kind of food? Like ethnicity wise? Like, are you, obviously you're Polish. And so
I'm Polish.
do you love Polish food the most?
I really like Polish food. But I would say that there are other countries that get me a little more excited.
Like,
I'm definitely a seasonal eater. So like in the winter, I'll eat a lot of like French sort of like humble, like countryside stews and that sort of stuff. And like a beef bourguignon. And I love a cockle Riesling and just cooking like the whole bird and having food for like 2 to 3 days. And then as soon as springtime comes along, I definitely like veer off to the Mediterranean and a lot of Greek food, a lot of Italian, Southern Italian cuisine, and Middle Eastern food gets me really excited as well. The only culture that I've just very slightly dabbled in is Indian cuisine, which I love. My best friend growing up in elementary school, his name was Arjun Chadwal. His parents had a chain of restaurants called the Bombay Palace, and they had a chef at home.
Oh yeah.
And so we would always have the best Indian food. And now my friend Rima, and like hanging out with Tan, who's Kashmiri, he's been making me food as well when we were in Austin. And there's so many spices that I kind of get intimidated. I'm like, I don't want to mess with it. Like, I just want someone to make it for me. But everything else pretty much like I'll try. But definitely like a seasonal eater. And I feel like Mediterranean eating, especially like during the summer months. I know we're like slowly approaching fall, but like that's what gets me really excited. A whole roasted fish with just a bit of like fresh oregano and like a hit of lemon and maybe some like pickled shallots and like a wonderful salad with like heirloom tomatoes and some halloumi or feta and like a really good oil and like a good red wine vinegar. Like, it's simple for me in the summer. I just like very few ingredients. I always try to keep it simple, but especially in the summer, I think, because it's like everything's at its like peak freshness, you know, like I'm not a big fan of tomatoes in the winter because they're just not that great. But in the summer, it's like I could eat them every meal.
Oh, so good. And when you get really, really fresh organic stuff, like we were in Napa recently and I tasted strawberries that I didn't even know existed. They were true strawberries. They were little guys. They exploded in my mouth. Like, it was so...
Were they very small?
Yes.
So they're, wild strawberries. They're beautiful.
My God. I'm like, the stuff we get in the supermarket is disgusting.
I know. It doesn't taste like anything.
Yeah, that's why I've always had an aversion to tomatoes and cucumbers. First of all, my parents OD'd me on them because we had a garden growing up. And so we used to eat from the garden all the time. I'm like, how many tomato and cucumber salads can I have? But then, you know, you kind of get away from a garden and you're like, what's this shit? It's that tomato's white inside.
Same. I mean, I was in Montreal where we, you know, have like 3 months of summer, but like during those 3 months, like we grew our tomatoes. We had a raspberry bush. We had beautiful Moroccan mint that my parents smuggled in from Morocco when they came back that we would have with tea every night. Like, all of those things I kind of like, I was spoiled when I was growing up. And so it definitely, it messes it up a little bit. If you live in like a northern coastal city, like winters can be a little tough, but it's like squash season. So you just take advantage of whatever, you know, nature is providing at that given time. And it's probably going to be the best thing for you and the best thing to make as well.
Yeah, that's the thing I think people don't realize about eating seasonally. That's what's best for you as well in that season. There's a reason that's what grows at that time.
100%. It's good for the planet. It's good for you. It's probably cheaper to buy it. It's like a win-win-win. Like, everyone should have a little chart of like the stuff that's available, and we should all be making the effort whenever we can to go to farmers markets and to try to eat as seasonally as we can, you know?
Yeah. So, Antoni, where did the inspiration for this second cookbook come from? So
I'll start with the first book very quickly. So Antoni in the Kitchen, you know, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I booked Queer Eye. The show came out. It exploded. I had all of these wonderful opportunities that came my way. And a fantastic publisher came up and they were like, okay, let's do a cookbook. And so I was like, okay, my castmates are writing their memoirs. And so I wanted to treat mine as like a culinary memoir. So I basically included Polish dishes, you know, the stuff that like shaped me, my heritage, dishes that didn't make it to Queer Eye because of editing purposes, stuff I ate when I was like a broke college student, that kind of stuff. And so with Let's Do Dinner, with the second book, I kind of wanted to look, because I wrote the book before the pandemic, actually. So it was before everything kind of happened. I actually originally wanted to do a book on entertaining for groups, and I'm glad I listened to my editor, and I'm glad we pivoted away to, thanks to Rux. But I wanted to, I wanted to keep it very just sort of like honest and to look at what my life is like now. And the irony is, as much as I love to cook and being in the kitchen is my happy place, it's either like with my record player or in my kitchen. And the irony now is that, like, you know, pandemic aside, with traveling and everything, it's like I actually have a lot less time to spend in the kitchen, but I still want to have really good food. I want to eat things that make me feel really good, but I just don't have the time. Mm-hmm. And so with Mindy Fox, my wonderful friend and collaborator, co-author, recipe tester, chef, editor, writer extraordinaire, with the first book, everything was kind of like virtual because I was in Kansas City filming Queer Eye, and she was in Portland, Maine, where she's based. And with this book, I was in New York. She came to New York. And for like weeks and weeks and weeks, we just like literally just made my kitchen a complete messy disaster in the best way possible. And it smelled like a home. And we were like, look, okay. So we wrote down all the recipes of like, what's the stuff that you eat during the week? And then we took it from there and we tried to like elaborate. Like, she clocked that I love a rotisserie chicken. I don't always have time to roast one. You can get a wonderful antibiotic-free organic bird for pretty cheap. For families, it lasts a couple of meals. And if you're me and my boyfriend, it's like one bird each for a dinner. But it's like something that you can stretch into different dishes. So we'd be like, okay, you love rotisserie chicken? Let's make a section about that. What else can we put it into? Let's shove it into a burrito and do a wonderful spicy slaw with pineapple and like loads of cilantro and fresh lime. Let's put it on nachos. Let's put it into a soup. Let's put it into like a pappardelle with like a creamy sauce. So it was figuring out how to kind of stretch those ingredients.
I want everything.
Because I really, well, you can in the book, and it's available now.
Oh my God. Just hearing him say it all, I'm like drooling. But you're right. Like if you make the rotisserie chicken, then there's leftovers. So you need to know what to do with it, because reheating it and eating it just like the way you ate it the day before is different. So if you make it into tacos, great idea. Then you make it into nachos, really great idea.
100%. That's exactly right. And I think, you know, with switching a spice or like a vegetable, suddenly transports you to like a completely different part of the world, or you can use a different technique for it. Like, we very consciously did a lot of repetition of certain ingredients to show people the diversity of food that you can have while keeping it simple. I love cookbooks. They are shoved in every single crevice of this apartment. They're in like, my dream one day is to have like a kitchen library. But whenever I make a recipe of something that's like really ambitious, it's usually like 20 different elements. I go to the grocery store. I have like massive totes. I come back, I make the dish, and then I have like 80% of all these ingredients left over, and I don't know what the hell to do with them.
Yep.
And so what we wanted to do, like, we included a pantry staple section where I just have like the basics, the stuff that I always keep on hand. So that when I go to the grocery store, I'm looking for protein, and then I go to the produce section and I get 2 to 3 things, and I'm good to go. Dinner's going to be ready.
I love that. Sorry, I have something in my eyeball.
Oh, you're good. I hate that feeling.
Something literally just got into my eyeball. Let's pray I can get it out. Must be like a hair. Oh, you know what? I think I got it.
Well done.
Oh my God. That like hurts so bad. Let me just say, because I thought I got it out before.
Take your time. Don't rush it, please. Don't hurt yourself.
Thank you. Okay. I think I'm good. You know, it's funny. So I've written a couple of books, and the last book was a cookbook as well. And it was because my mom was the master of making quick, easy meals that were delicious. And it was with the stuff you have in your pantry. Like, really, if you throw some salt, pepper, maybe a little garlic powder, some crushed red chili pepper on pretty much anything, it's going to taste good.
It's going to taste pretty good. Yep.
Yeah. And so I always love those kind of cookbooks because they're less intimidating. We don't have time. Like, I love cooking too. I don't have time to cook really anymore. So this is the type of book that we all need because we want to eat well and we want it to be delicious, but we also want it to be easy. So I love that you're making it easy for everybody. Do you have a favorite part of this cookbook?
Do I have a favorite part? Oh, it's like picking my babies. How am I supposed to pick a favorite? You know,
I love, in the meantime, as you're thinking, I love the idea of a kitchen library.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have a library at my house in Connecticut, like 2-story library, beautiful library. And now I'm thinking, oh, we're renovating our kitchen. It would be nice to have a shelf somewhere just for all the cookbooks. I mean, I do have a shelf. I guess I could put them all there. But I really like that idea because right now they're stored in the library, which means I'm never going to use them in the kitchen.
No, they need to be close. So
Yeah.
I was the original food and wine expert on Queer Eye's Ted Allen, who now hosts Chopped and does a whole bunch of other stuff. I was his personal assistant for a while. And he lives in a brownstone in Brooklyn, and he has a massive library. Well, he has two libraries, but his library he keeps on the same floor as the kitchen. So he can just kind of like go over there and like pick out whether it's Joy of Cooking or something more contemporary or his favorite Ottolenghi book. And it's just like right there. I love that idea. Nothing makes me happier than like looking through recipes or like one of Nigella Lawson's old books. And
yeah,
wait,
but
I have to answer your question.
Yeah, but that's why your book's great because I know I'm going to have everything I need in my cupboard to be able to make what you want, other than just going to the supermarket and saying, okay, I got to get my fish and I got to get my vegetable and then I'm done.
Right. Totally. Okay. It's sort of a section. It's at the beginning of the book and it's actually 10 fast favorites. This wasn't like, it wasn't on purpose, but I'm looking at it right now and I'm actually realizing for the first time, it is pretty incredibly diverse in terms of like parts of the world. Like there's this Armenian pita pizza, which is called lahmacun, which my friend Sean taught me about when I was in college in Montreal, and we would get it for like $2. And it's basically just like ground lamb with a bit of pepperoncinis, fresh tomatoes, and a bit of mint, and you put it on a pita, and it's just the most delicious, simple thing to make ever. All you have to do is basically bake it with a little bit of meat that's like spread on it, or like a lemon spaghetti with toasted walnuts. I love lamb so much.
But lamb is actually the only meat they can't pump hormones into. So if you want like a really true clean meat,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the lamb, I think it dies if you pump any hormones into it. So it's actually the only like true organic meat from what I've done my research and heard of. Yeah.
Well,
Kelsey,
I want to read about that too.
Are you confirming?
I'm confirming.
Okay, thank you.
Lamb is one that I feel like, unless like friends of mine that you know are of like certain ethnicities, a lot of people are freaked out by it because they feel like it's foreign. But I encourage people, like, next time you're making a burger, if you're like grilling and celebrating the end of summer, like just swap it out for lamb, try it out, season it aggressively with salt and pepper, keep it really simple. Try it when you're making meatballs the next time, or if you're making a bolognese or like some kind of a ragu, like throw it in there instead of ground beef or ground turkey. It's a fantastic meat.
Bolognese. Yeah.
And that's just ground lamb. I haven't even started talking about rack of lamb and lamb shanks and all the other ways to have it.
Yeah. They call it kleftiko in Greek. The
kleftiko?
Yeah, the lamb shank. Yeah.
Oh, I was just thinking, I haven't had baklava in so long. And my favorite is when it's like drenched in honey. My friend Maria Marianos used to bring some, because her parents had a Italian Greek restaurant, and she used to bring baklava for lunch, and it was like swimming in honey, and it was the most delicious thing ever.
See, I want it to be crispy and
so you want it crispy honey on top, but the base of it is like really honeyish. You like both worlds.
Yeah, I like the mixture, so it's got to be perfect. Which my mom always made it perfect, and I do have her recipe. It's so good. Food is just awesome. Your boyfriend
really
he really hit the lottery. Like, think about it. Anybody who's with someone who can cook hit the lottery. I mean, I felt like I hit the lottery with my mom, and now my dad became like a master chef. He hadn't cooked ever, and when my mom got sick, he started going in the kitchen and started cooking and just became a master chef. His soups are insane. His food is so delicious. I'm like, Dad, how did you just teach yourself? Like, boom, done. He woke up at 75 and was like, I'm going to learn how to cook.
At 75. I love that. It's like, we have to keep learning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Socrates said something about that. But like, even my father, after my parents divorced, it's like he got in the kitchen and really started to feel empowered and just started making all kinds of things in traditional Polish dishes. And, you know, and it's yeah.
So
I love here. Like there's really no wrong age to start.
No. Antoni, do you always eat clean, or do you like go off the board too?
So it's called a Sunday.
Okay.
And Sunday we are absolute human trash cans.
I love it.
So typically what we'll do, I live in New York, and we'll order, I love a Montreal bagel. They are better than New York bagels. The fact that New Yorkers have to ask for a scooped bagel means your bagels are too damn big. And the water is better in Montreal. So it makes for like a sweet, kind of like a nice pull. But anyway, long story short to say, there's a place, Black Seed is very good, and Tompkins Square. And so I'll order like a small bag of bagels. I'll make my own soft scrambled eggs. And so I'll have like 4 eggs, super creamy with a bagel. That's breakfast.
Do you use milk to make them creamy?
So this was one of my pandemic learns, because my boyfriend, Kevin, came to Austin while we were filming Queer Eye. He was meant to come for 4 days. Production shut down. New York was the epicenter of the pandemic. And so we ended up moving in together. We're one of those relationships, knock on wood, that like really made it and were forged. And he has 4 eggs every morning. And so he was like super busy working from like 8 a.m. until 8 p.m. So I took it upon myself to like perfect soft scrambled eggs for him. And what I learned is that for every 2 eggs, I put about a teaspoon of water. I try to get them to room temp, and then I whisk them up so that they're fully homogenized, and then low heat on a pan, and using either wooden chopsticks or the flat end, the skinny end of a rubber or a silicone spatula. And I just like shake it vigorously. And then I take it off the heat about a minute before it's done so that they're fully cooked, but they're still really creamy. And that water, I think it helps with the steam, and it helps them stay really nice and creamy. I've tried it adding yolks. I've tried adding heavy cream, half and half, Parmesan, and the solution is really water for me.
Wow. I know Kelsey, our producer here, first of all, is obsessed with you, stalked your first book. She has a video with you in your first book.
Hi, Kelsey.
Hi. I do. I have a video with you from Extra.
Yeah, because you were at Extra. She's a good person to be stalked by. She's not a crazy stalker, but she loves eggs, and she has always told me that she wants to start a business called Put an Egg on It.
Maria always
so now
makes
you
fun
know,
of me.
and I make fun of her
Thank you,
because I'm like, there are a lot
Thank
of
you.
egg places now, Kelsey. I think we need a new idea.
And there is an entire egg section in the book as well.
There you go.
You know I saw it.
So your preferred thing to put an egg on it is?
Me or Antoni?
To put my preferred.
You.
Antoni.
Yes. No,
Kelsey.
you.
Oh, I thought you were asking me.
Oh,
yeah, we are.
To put an egg on?
Yeah, if you're going to put an egg on anything, what are you putting it on?
Oh, the perfect croissant.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Great
Soft
answers.
scramble, aggressive amounts of pepper, a little bit of flake salt, and finely chopped chives.
Ooh.
Do you remember we were in Connecticut and my aunt would go to like BJ's and bring us all the fresh croissants?
Yes.
And I would grill them and make egg and cheese sandwiches with salt and pepper.
Yum.
And
What's
it's
better?
so
What's
good.
better than a flaky croissant?
Nothing.
No, but you got to grill it. Or, I mean, you can toast it, but I really want the butter, the added butter. So I grill it with butter.
100%. You grill it? Like grill it?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Have you made French toast with croissants yet? Oh,
yes, absolutely. And bread pudding as well.
Yeah, but no, I grill it and then put the egg and cheese on it.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, mind blown. And maybe like a slice of like crispy prosciutto on top, just for like a good salty crunch.
Yes. Oh my God,
Right?
I love food so much. This is my favorite interview ever. Can we do a quick rapid fire with you? Actually, before I do the rapid fire, we saw that Gigi Hadid is in the cookbook. Does she have a favorite meal that you cook that, maybe she shared with you?
What have I made? I know that I did a lemon spaghetti once, a couple of years ago that she really liked. That was kind of inspired by the John and Vinny's and Lil Frankie's version of it, where I just used pasta water to like help emulsify. There's like actually no cream added. It's very lemony. I've made, after shoots sometimes, she likes to eat. We have very similar ways of eating. We both love a burger and we both love a bolognese. And I did a nice pappardelle with like a lamb bolognese actually. What else? She actually taught me a lot. There are 2 recipes in here that are inspired by her. One of them, I often get inspired by restaurants and I try to figure out like what's like a simpler way of doing it. And I thought she was crazy when we went out for dinner once to a place called L'Avenue, and she ordered French fries, like allumette, like the really thin matchstick fries with mashed potatoes. And she started dipping them in. And I was like, that's like chicken and waffles. It's like overkill. It doesn't make any sense. I tried it. And then it ended up in my book because I thought it was the most fantastic food pairing that I've ever had in my life.
Whoa. Never thought of that. I like
So
making Greek
nice.
fries with the lemon and the feta and the
Oh,
oregano.
what's better when you have really beautiful big wedges with that hit of lemon?
Yeah.
Yum.
Yeah.
And the
then
other thing
dipping
she
it,
taught me,
you can dip that in tzatziki too.
like I said, there's nothing that you can't dip tzatziki in. The other one that she taught me, and I haven't been able to have pancakes the same way since, she introduced me to the wonderful world of oatmeal pancakes. There's a chew from the oats that it adds like such a nice texture to them. And so I made a version that you can kind of have for dinner. You know, when you have like one of those days where it's like rainy and you just don't feel really great, or you want to celebrate something, whatever it is, or somewhere in between, or if it's a Sunday, if you're me, oatmeal pancakes with sauteed apples with just a little bit of rosemary, not too overwhelming, and then just some like fresh whipped cream.
Wow. I want to move
Wonderful
to New York
combo.
just so that we can cook and eat together.
You are officially invited.
Okay, perfect. I am so going to come. Don't tempt me. Okay, so we're going to do a rapid fire trivia with you. We know you have your
Great.
go-to basics listed on the book, so we thought we would do a rapid fire game called What's in Antoni's Pantry? Okay, 3 pantry staples.
Tomato paste in a tube because it lasts longer, even though it costs $1 more. Chickpeas and either butter or cannellini beans.
Ooh. Go-to
And anchovies in a jar. Sorry, that was 4.
Ooh, not a fan of the anchovy, but I gotcha. Okay, go-to pantry item.
Go-to pantry item. Oh, I love, this is not an endorsement, I just love it. Banza chickpea pasta.
Oh,
So
I've been
good.
hearing about chickpea pasta.
So good.
It's high in protein. It's significantly lower in carbs. And if you're like me and you have zero self-control when you start eating pasta and you just have to eat everything that's there, I can't. Banza is fantastic.
Okay, Kelsey, remind me I have to get that.
I will.
Because people have been talking about it lately and I forgot. Okay, 1 overrated pantry item that everyone thinks is necessary, but you disagree.
Oh my gosh.
What a question,
overrated.
Kelsey. Way to pin him down.
I knew he'd have something for us.
Overrated pantry item. Okay, this is actually a really hard question.
Is it broth?
Okay,
a chicken broth maybe? Is that overrated? Because you can make it.
But broth is really nice to have. I mean, I love to make my own for sure. Okay, this is, and I do love to put it on my eggs every once in a while, but I feel like people use it a little too much as a condiment. And my boyfriend's going to hate me for this because he's obsessed. Ketchup.
Yeah. I love ketchup too. Not on
was a
my
fun
eggs,
question.
but all right. Weirdest item in your pantry, Antoni.
Weirdest item in my pantry would have to be, it's an apple-infused balsamic vinegar that I still have from when we filmed Queer Eye, We're in Japan, that I got in Tokyo. I haven't opened it yet.
Apple balsamic sounds amazing.
But it's just random that I got it in Tokyo.
Yeah, I love that. Oh, okay. When I come over, we're going to break that open. Okay.
Done.
Favorite Trader Joe's item in your pantry? Because we know we love Trader Joe's around here.
Love a TJ moment. They're mentioned heavily in the book. It's actually something from their line called Trader Giotto's, which is their Italian line. And they have these wonderful butter beans in like a tomatoey, herby sauce that when I was like a broke student, I would buy a can of that. And then I would splurge on tuna packed in olive oil. And that would be my dinner. And those, the beans and the tomato sauce, I didn't realize it until like recently-ish, but they're actually, I have them in my first cookbook and they came from basically like that experience. And I forgot where I had them. And I was like, I love butter beans with like a tangy tomato sauce.
Wait, I've never heard of tuna fish in olive oil.
Wait, what?
I know.
Never.
Really?
I still drain my water out of my tuna fish cans.
Okay. Tuna in olive oil, the flavor is so much more robust. You can actually taste the fish. It's freaking delicious.
I've never heard of that.
Not in vegetable oil, but in olive oil. It's like 50 cents more and it's totally worth it.
Whole Foods? Trader Joe's? Okay.
Cento makes their own as well. You can get all kinds of brands. You can get it flavored, unflavored, but it's a massive game changer.
Wow. Kelsey, will you add that to my grocery list?
Yeah.
Holy moly.
That and the pasta.
It's a huge game changer. You won't be able to go back to tuna in water.
Wow. Okay. Favorite spice?
Right now, I would say I've been using a lot of sumac.
Okay. Haven't heard of sumac.
It's like I believe it's a flower. So it's like red and it's very citrusy and tart.
Ooh.
And I love carrots. Like I love like rainbow carrots, and I roast them and then I sprinkle a little bit on top, and it's really nice. It's wonderful on fish as well. And it bleeds in a nice way, the way that saffron does. So it gives kind of like a reddish, pinkish hue to food as well.
Okay, add sumac to my list, please.
Oh my God.
Sumac is lovely.
Last
and
two
not that you asked for a
questions.
second one, but I love za'atar.
Za'atar?
And
What's za'atar?
That's a spice blend. So it's a Middle Eastern spice blend with hyssop and sesame seed. And it's sort of like tangy and tart. I actually love it on Persian cucumbers with a bit of olive oil and salt. And I love to put it on my eggs as well. But za'atar chicken is a thing. Any type of fish. It's fantastic. Highly recommend.
Okay,
Trader Joe's makes their own za'atar now.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, Kelsey, add that to the list, and then we're going to get Persian cucumbers. I love Persian cucumbers. Okay, favorite
Same.
late night snack?
Okay, so this is oddly specific, but I had one last night. I discovered the greatest pistachio butter of all time because I am obsessed with pistachios. And it's just pistachios, olive oil, and a little bit of sugar and salt. So it's like sweet and salty. And then I take either if you're buying in the US, Meladuco Farms, woman-owned business. She grows her own dates in California. They are beautiful, big, juicy dates. Or King Rooftop dates from Dubai that a friend brought me once, and I still have them in my freezer. So I make a little incision. I take out the pit. I put a little bit of the cashew butter in. You can use regular almond butter or peanut butter. If that's all that you have, it's fine. And then a tiny little sprinkling of flake salt. And it's the perfect bite because it's salty, it's creamy, it's crunchy. And then you have like the sweet caramely notes of dates.
Holy deliciousness. You have a very international cabinet. I like this. Last question. Favorite secret or not secret indulgence?
Cheese. Literally anything with cheese. If it's stinky, if it's unpasteurized, if it's a sharp cheddar from Vermont, if it's the massive parm that I keep in my fridge and I just cut off a nugget and I can just eat cheese alone. It's like cheese for me it's like, it just goes right to my head. I love it.
Ooh, I just had some saganaki the other night. Guys, I haven't had saganaki in a while.
I love saganaki. I love saganaki so much. You're reminding me of this place called Marché Adonis, which was like Greek and Middle Eastern massive market in Montreal, where they would have like 6 different types of feta. They would have saganaki, halloumi.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so yummy.
Yeah, it's just so good. There's
a shrimp saganaki recipe in the cookbook as well.
I can't wait to try that, actually.
It's not as good as your mom's, I'm sure, but it'll do the trick.
Well, my mom never made saganaki, really.
Really?
Yeah. Interestingly enough, and my mom's a crazy cheese lover. And now I'm thinking about it, and I'm realizing she deprived me of saganaki all these years.
You were robbed of your youth.
I was robbed, but we did get it when we went to restaurants.
There you go.
So now I know I can go get my saganaki on there. Antoni, so great chatting with you. Like I said, congrats on your Emmy win. Congrats on the new cookbook. Of course, guys, it's called Antoni, Let's Do Dinner. It's out now wherever books are sold. We're going to link it in the description so that you guys can grab it. I know Kelsey's mom already ordered it.
That's right, she did.
And you can follow him on Instagram at Antoni. We'll put that in here as well. And you can see how dapper he looks in that white tuxedo. All right. Have a great rest of your day. So great chatting with you.
It was really, really lovely chatting with you.
Chef Marc Murphy is going to help us make a watermelon mint feta salad and a grilled romaine dish. He is, of course, a well-respected American chef, restaurateur, and TV personality, best known for Chopped. Holy moly, 44 seasons on the Food Network. Damn. He's also appeared on Guy's Ranch Kitchen beating Bobby Flay. I've done that too. The Today Show. Oh, I've done that too. To name a few, Marc's the author of Season with Authority, Confident Home Cooking, his top-selling cookbook. And he's launched a new debut podcast, Food 360 with Marc Murphy, produced by iHeartRadio. Today, like I said, he's going to help us demo the world's best watermelon side salad and grilled romaine. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Marc Murphy.
Marc, you're sideways. And yes, I'm seeing
I'm sideways.
There we go.
There we go.
Hi, Marc.
How's it going? So good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Good to
What's going
see you. Thanks for being here. You love cooking. I have to ask. I love cooking as well. I hate the shopping part. Are you having someone else do that part for you?
No, well, I've been doing a lot of online things, trying to support friends and restaurants and so on and so forth. For example, Joe's Stone Crab down in Miami, which I love that restaurant. It's been around for many, many years, and we go every year for the Food and Wine Festival. And you can order from some of these restaurants, and they'll deliver things in frozen or whatever, and then you put them together. We've had I feel like trying to support people. So there's ways to do it that way. I use an online shopping or thing here out in New York. It's called Our Harvest, and the guy who started it, Mike, it's this great organization. It's only in Manhattan, I think, in the tri-state area right now. And it's really literally trying to get the food right from the farms to people's homes, and with sort of cutting out the middleman. So trying to get more money in the farmers' pockets, money in their pockets. So I think it's a great organization. It's not like, I don't know if you know Fresh Direct or any of these places, but they don't have everything, but they have specific things that are in season, and they'll buy like chicken from one farm who's doing organic work, and I'll buy that. It's great. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, you get to play around with it a bit.
So when I heard Chopped has gone on for 44 seasons, I fell off my chair and choked on my feta cheese. 44 seasons?
When you said that in the intro, I was sort of scratching my head. I was thinking, wait, has it been that long? Wow, I'm getting old. But yeah, we've been making a lot of those shows, and they just keep going. I love about the show, and I know that you're a fan. I heard you were a fan of the show and you liked it. It's really the fact that you get to, we get to meet people in our industry that are just passionate about food, passionate about ingredients, and we're passionate about that as well. But we're also passionate about their stories, and I feel like that some of these people's stories, when they come in and they show us what they've got and who they are and the kind of characters they are, it's really beautiful, because I think that people in the restaurant industry and the food industry they have big hearts, and they're always giving and giving and giving. And that's one of the great things I love about the show. And the other thing is really sort of educating the world sometimes about certain ingredients that sometimes we don't even know much about, and we learn about them on set. And the viewers are going to we sort of feel like we're entertaining, but we're also somehow tricking people into learning some stuff every once in a while.
Yeah. I wonder, for you have a new podcast. You obviously, you're so busy. Is there something that you haven't ventured into that you want to venture into?
Oh boy. I mean, right now I just, if there was something I could venture into to help heal this world right now, with all of the uproar and everything going on, I would love to help out somehow, but I don't know. And it's interesting because I was talking with my aunt the other day, and I was like, as a chef, I feel sort of powerless right now. I can't just go and cook and help, so to speak. It's like, that's not what we really need right now, in a certain sense. And we were talking, and she said, just by thinking about it and thinking about, what the problems are, and listening and talking to friends, I think that's important right now. I think that later on there'll be something hopefully I can get involved with and get and do more to help. I think it's I don't know. It's just it's tough right now, and it's pretty emotional.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I feel the same.
It's tough.
Well, let's do what we do best. Let's make some food.
Exactly. Well, why don't we do this? Let's make this. This is one of my wife's favorite salads. It's super simple. You guys called. You said, right, it's a little side dish for the holiday this weekend. It's fresh. It's exciting. It's delicious. It's very simple. Watermelon, feta, and mint. And another one of my things I always make, and because I always seem to have romaine in the fridge, I just throw it in the grill. Lemon juice. And it's just like the fresh. It goes with anything. It goes with ribs. It's sort of these are the side dishes you want to sort of lighten up the meal. If you're having a bunch of burgers and hot dogs, which of course people will be having this weekend, a little watermelon salad to go with that lightens up the day, and so does a grilled romaine salad.
What I love too about this is, I forgot about grilled romaine. So I love that you're reminding us about just fresh ingredients and just yummy, healthy stuff, because I'm really in this place where I'm focusing on trying to get as many different nutrients in my body as possible. And so when you think about just like a fresh watermelon feta salad with some mint or some grilled romaine, these are really delicious things that have so much taste that, you know, you don't think of. So I have my bowl of watermelon here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to chop up some mint.
Let's dice it up.
Okay. And then how much mint am I taking?
You know, I usually just like to tear the mint. You know, if you got a little bit, it's really, you know, this isn't really, I don't think I've ever really written a recipe for this because it's sort of, it's up to you really. I mean, it's how much mint you want. You can add a little more, you can add a little less. But yeah, I just like to tear it and throw it in there.
I'm going to cut up some of these bigger pieces.
Mint is one of those nice herbs that you want to, I'm dicing up mine. I'm sorry, I can't, are we on good timing here?
Yeah, we're good. So the mint, you actually just peel each little leaf?
I just take the leaves and rip them. I'll just take the leaves like this and just rip them like that and toss them right in there.
Okay.
Let's not get complicated here.
Okay, I like that.
I mean, if you want, you know, mint is one of those herbs that bruises kind of easily. So if you were going to cut it, you want to slice it. Let me give you a quick little demo for prettiness. And that's a culinary term. Mm-hmm. So what I do is, can we see this right here? If you get up close, you fold the mint over and you do not push the knife down because you're going to bruise the actual green.
Got it.
You slide your knife backwards like this. And this way you're slicing it and you're keeping it nice and green. And that's all about presentation. So you can either slice it like that or, you know what? It's a barbecue.
He loves me.
And
he
this
loves
is
me
great
not.
for the kids. Just
he
tear
loves
it up.
Me. He loves
tear
me not.
Mince.
He loves
there
me.
There you go.
He loves me not.
Exactly.
Okay.
There you go. And then the feta, I usually just dice it or I crumble it. Of course, and I feel bad because all I had in the fridge was French feta. I should have Greek feta. Is that correct?
Yeah. Okay, so I threw my feta in with with my watermelon
and your mint.
And my mint. I've got my delicious salad here.
And
that looks so really good.
I mean, look, toss it together. Whoops, try to keep it in the bowl. And then you plate it. I mean, I got to tell you. And by the way, you're absolutely right about trying to keep things fresh and healthy, and fresh ingredients like this. So important. I mean, I guess, you know, for me, I was born and raised in France and Italy. So I like the ingredients to let them do their own talking, actually, especially with Italian food, because it's just, you want to, and I do sometimes, if I want, I'll take a little crunchy salt and just drizzle that on there to give it a little extra pop.
Okay, I got my salt in my shaker here. I'll just throw a little.
Perfect. And I've caught.
Well, that was the salt pepper. This is the salt that Jeff knocked over earlier.
I'm fired.
And clearly didn't put back together properly.
I am so fired.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh, Jesus.
So, by the way, the romaine, I'm inside, but I got a grill pan. I'm just putting a little olive oil, salt, and pepper, and I'm tossing it right on my grill pan.
Okay, let's see if
and by the way, I'd always absolutely, and you know, you were just saying earlier about reminding you about grilled romaine and the freshness and the just, you know, what it is. And you're right. Every time I seem to make this romaine salad, people are like, oh my gosh, this is so easy. Why don't I do this more often? And
yeah.
Like, well, it's you just got to think about it, really.
It's
and
true.
I always like to have a lemon. I like to put a lemon on there and squeeze it on right at the end when it comes up. And I will grill it most about 75% down on the, you know, the cut side. And then I'll flip it over to warm the leaves.
So what do I do with the lettuce? I have to cut it down
just
this way?
Cut it right down the middle.
Or
right, see.
I'm going to put it.
Hold on. Let me look real quick. Hold on. Let me see what you're doing. There you go. You got to have
I'm having the romaine lettuce.
That's perfect.
Voila.
Now put a little olive oil, salt, and pepper on that.
That might be a little tough order right now, but we'll get the
salt. Maybe you want to.
We'll get the olive oil on.
We got to get a little olive oil, and then you need to find somebody who's going to help you with the salt.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff,
it was working for me earlier, then I dropped it. I'm busted.
How do I maybe I can undo this and take a little. Or you can run in and get me some salt, or ask somebody for help.
I will definitely
phone a friend. Here, I got it. Now it's all just poured everywhere. Phone a friend. Okay, I got it. It's definitely, this is the comedy hour here. Okay, so I've got it on my grill. How long do you leave it on the grill for?
It depends how hot it is. I've just put mine on. It's been about 3 minutes, and check this out. I'm flipping it. You see a little bit of color there, right? And what I'll do now is I've flipped it, and I'm going to go right on top here with my lemon juice.
Okay.
And by the way, that lemon, you see all the little crevices there, all the little areas of the leaf, boom, it's all going to go sinking in there. Oh, and this is one of these things, look, if you got a lot going on, you're a lot of grilling, a lot of food going on, you can do this a little ahead of time. It's not going to go bad. You can just put it out in the buffet and it's ready to go. I mean, it's just
I like it because what I would do when I'm done with this, I would sprinkle some feta onto this too.
Oh, there you go.
Right? Like I would salt, pepper, lemon, throw oregano and some feta. Damn, that would be yummy.
Well, you're going straight Greek salad going on there, huh? I understand.
Yeah.
I heard that's in the cards over at your house, probably.
I had created little Greek salad romaine boats where I would chop up all the ingredients fine and put it on the romaine lettuce like a strong piece and then eat it like a boat with the salad dressing on it. I would spray it. So here, this was, I mean, talk about simple. I want everybody, you guys, whoever's watching this, I mean, people always, chefs and they complicate. Listen, this is simple. So easy.
This is easy. You too can do this. I always say to people are like, oh, I don't know how to cook. I'm like, okay, well, start with the easy stuff and work on the knife skills, and then you can move into the more complicated things.
Yeah.
But this is super simple.
Do we just take this and eat it like this, though? I'm just kidding. We got to chop this up.
we can you can cut it up, or you can, hold on, let me flip my camera around here.
Okay, I'm flipping my lettuce now to its other side to toast the other side, correct? And then I'm going to squeeze a little lemon.
Yep.
On top.
Squeeze a little lemon on there.
Yes, a little lemon from my trees, by the way.
Oh, there you go. Where are you anyway? Where you got lemons growing?
California. I have a whole citrus grove here.
Oh, I just finished reading a book about citrus in Italy, the history of the citrus in Italy. It was fantastic. And it's actually probably coming out next week on my podcast. I was so excited about the book that I went and found the author who lives in Wales and interviewed her on my podcast.
No way.
Really, really interesting. Absolutely.
What was like the coolest piece of history from citrus in Italy?
Well, one of the things that was funny, there was a drink that's called the Garibaldi. The Garibaldi is Campari and blood oranges from Sicily. Mm-hmm. And it's because he was the one who tried liberating Italy, and his soldiers wore red, and it was such a red drink. So they call it the Garibaldi. I thought that was kind of cool. And also the bergamot, the citrus, how it's used and how it's produced. And everything was the history. It was so funny because when I was reading the book, I was like, this book is too small for the amount of history here. And when I talked to her for the interview, I said, you must have had to have a lot more. You wanted to put a lot more information in that book. And she goes, yeah, I really did. But it was, it was really interesting.
So cool. I have blood oranges as well out here. I have blood orange trees. So I make blood orange margaritas. You might want to come to my house, Mark. I don't know if we're going to your house. Really. I got the citrus.
The blood oranges are also supposed to be very, very healthy for you.
Oh, yeah. They're really good at my margaritas, that's for sure.
How's it going over there? What's happening?
I'm good. I just turned it off.
Don't burn the house down.
Exactly. So I've got my grilled romaine with my lemon, my salt, and pepper. Perfect. And I chop this, pop it in the bowl that's now holding my battery-operated salt shaker. Is that what I do?
You know what? You can either just leave the romaine whole on a platter, and then when people come by the buffet, they can take a whole one, or you can chop it up and put it in the salad. It's up to you. Depends on what you want to do. Oh, there you go. Well, there's a chop for you.
Yes.
Okay. Whoever broke that pepper mill is going to be in trouble. I can tell.
By the way, that's the second one that broke today. So I was bringing out the salt and pepper shakers this morning, and they both crashed and broke. So it's only appropriate that my backup would break. So here we go. Jeff's. This is an expensive food segment for Jeff now, because now he's going to have to replace my salt.
It's coming out of my salary.
So this is easy. We just chop it up and we eat it. Done.
There you go.
This is the simplest thing ever. A little watermelon feta mint salad, and I have mint in my garden, so it's nice to have fresh spices and things, to garnish with. I put it on my drinks, and the romaine lettuce. Like I'm grateful that we got to do this because, like I said, I need those reminders. Everything feels like it's a mountain to climb, like it's so much work. And when you break it down to simple things like this, these are simple, healthy things that you can have at your barbecue this weekend that you can enjoy. And then Instagram it, share it with your friends, and make them jealous that they wish they were doing it.
I'm going to take all of you through the yard into my kitchen, and we are going to do our cooking demo.
Here we go.
Cook time.
It's cooking time, people. Okay, so that's the studio, by the way.
You got a nice setup going.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
My husband made it for me. And then if you guys ever have a problem with citrus, we have a citrus orchard here.
Oh, man. Definitely.
So some pretty nuclear lemons.
Oh, my God.
And then I've got tangerines, mandarins, lemons, pomelos, tangelos, limes,
We have
blood oranges.
We have one sad lemon tree, and they're all green.
No, one of them I think turned.
One of them turned yellow.
It's a young tree.
Okay, welcome to my casa.
Wow.
Hi, Dad. Did you put that boiling hot water on for me? I asked my dad to put boiling hot water on. Say hi to Max. Hi, Guy. Hi, Guy. Do you want to say hi to Iliza and Noah?
Wait, we'll get our dog. Hold on.
This is my best friend. Okay. Say hi to William.
Oh,
My mom over there. My dad. Kevin. Say hi. Okay. Oh my God! Wait, he looks like Beethoven. We have a little guy like that. He's like a Tibetan Spaniel, right?
Partially, yeah.
Hold on. Let me show you Beethoven.
Yeah, you probably have like a purebred, beautiful dog.
This is my mom. Mom, say hi.
Dog.
Hi. This is their dog Beethoven.
Oh my goodness, so loyal.
They look like twins.
Oh, look at that little.
Hold on, Mom. I'm just gonna do this show. One sec. I'm doing live. Kev, can you get me my stand from outside? I forgot it.
Give me my stand.
What do you want?
Okay, so
You want this one in there too?
This is good. I'm putting hot water on, assuming we are going to make something in hot water.
Do it.
Okay. And now I'm going to take you to the pantry.
This is the part where I sip coffee and check my phone, but I'm here.
Okay, first of all, I did not try to clean this shit. I wanted to and make it nice and organized so I could look like one of those people that had a real organized cupboard, but I've not gotten to this project yet.
First,
it's embarrassing.
What are we cooking for today?
Do you have any do you have any naked whey?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, shit.
So much.
Fell right for it. Okay, so this is kind of where we have cereals. We've got peanuts and peanut butter and all of our protein stuff. You can put that right on the kitchen counter, honey. We've got walnuts and sunflower seeds galore.
Nice.
Over here, we keep our sauces and olives and pepperoncinis, honey. Over here, we've got like our olive oils. We've got refried beans, black beans, corn, crab meat. I know I've got tuna in here somewhere. Basil pesto. And then in here, I've got extra spices. I've got crackers, lemon pepper white rice. I don't know what the hell that is. Flour, some eaten Doritos, pancakes. Betty Crocker, not as good as the other stuff.
Okay. Well,
this is what we're working with.
You have any greens in the fridge that you're trying to get worked into something?
Hold on. Here we go. My fridge usually only has dog food. That's all dog food right there.
Wow.
Let's see. I've got lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Swiss chard in the garden. I have a garden, by the way. I should have gone up there. But we're really trying to deal with the pantry because people.
Yeah. So let's I don't know. Let's see. Let's do something with let's do a frozen vegetable.
Ooh, shrimp. I love shrimp.
In fact, we can do a little preview of what we're going to make tomorrow night on the show.
Okay.
Basically, it's like a little beans and greens thing. It's one of my like go-to like solo lunches or solo dinners I'll make while Eliza's out of town. It's like my kind of pantry go-to.
Okay.
Super duper easy, and it's just a great way to like fit stuff in there. So pick out a frozen green you want to use today. Whether it's, spinach or broccoli or whatever you got going in there.
I got French style green beans.
What makes them French? They're rude.
I think it's the way that
I've got edamame. I got, hold on. This is spinach, I think. Here. Where is that stand? Will you give me that stand, Bubba?
Let's do the spinach.
Okay.
We'll do a little bean.
My husband made these little stands with
nice.
like the car magnet.
Oh my God. Love
There.
that. We have our ring light sitting on a pile of onions.
Wouldn't be Greek if I didn't have spanakopita.
Excellent. My family goes to.
We got chopped spinach.
Oh, perfect. For that, and then let's take some of those canned beans out of the pantry, and then
Hold on one sec.
if you got like garlic or onion or anything like that, that's nice to throw in. We can always.
Okay, so chopped spinach and what else?
Let's get some beans out of the pantry. I think you had some black beans in there.
Okay, black beans coming right up.
And then I'm guessing you have olive oil.
Yeah, definitely.
And you have like dried oregano or something in there too.
Done. I got my grandmother's. Still have some of my grandmother's oregano from Greece.
My parents go to Greece every summer and they bring me back dried oregano. They go to the island of Folegandros every summer.
Aww. Dad, actually, we have so much oregano outside. We should dry it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
I've got oregano. I've got frozen.
You got like a garlic clove
olive oil
hiding somewhere.
What?
You have like a garlic clove hiding somewhere.
I do. I got some canned garlic because I couldn't find any fresh when we went to this. Well, when Kevin foraged, but I got some garlic. And look, I've got a helper. My dad's already opening the black beans. Thank you, Dad.
And then if you have, if you want to throw a little heat in there, like some chili flakes or something, that's always a nice little bonus.
Ooh, I love chili flakes. Yes. Okay, so.
And then if you have an egg, it's nice to fry an egg and throw it on top at the end too.
A fried egg?
Little beans and greens with a fried egg on top is a nice little.
Dying! I'm so excited. This is about time for lunch for me, so this is gonna be perfect. Okay. We got the eggs.
This is gluten-free.
It's not.
Oh yeah. Never mind. Both vegan other than the egg. Vegetarian.
Okay, so I got the eggs.
We don't even need the boiling water. So let's get, we'll set you up on the stove and we'll, I guess you'll need 2 pans. One to fry an egg and one to saute your greens.
Okay. Hold on, let me get my little pot thingies. Guys, these are so stained and so embarrassing. Okay.
We got that covered at our house.
So this
so 2 pans, one for the egg.
So a non-stick would be great for the egg. Perfect.
Okay.
And something else that'll, like, it can be a saute pan or a pot, it can kind of be whatever, a Dutch oven. This is just to cook some greens and beans up. And this is it.
This is it, baby.
As you know, I'm sure, like the Mediterranean side of my family, the majority of cooking starts with sauteing garlic in olive oil and some chili.
Okay. I gotta use this guy because my other pan I used for fried dough last night.
Perfect. So let's take that bigger pot and put it over a nice medium heat.
Hold on one second. What is it?
Medium heat on the bigger pan. And we'll get that stuff going first.
Do you guys ever have trouble getting your stoves to turn on?
Yes.
They're so annoying.
It's a constant battle.
Okay, put the olive oil in?
Yeah, just enough to kind of like coat the bottom in a nice little thin layer. And then let's open up that garlic and we'll take a look at
it. Okay.
Do whatever you want. If you want to smash it up, chop it, throw it in whole, whatever you want to do.
Okay.
Are they kind of pickly? Are they? What's the texture like? Are they raw? Are they cooked?
They're raw.
Oh, cool.
I'm just gonna wash my hands so that I'm clean.
Perfect. How are you doing with like the dry knuckles thing? I feel like when you're washing your hands constantly, my hands are just like constantly cracking.
Oh yeah, I have hand lotion right on the counter, so every time I'm doing it, I'm lotioning.
I always mistake the lotion for the soap, and then I'm like, oh, I should wet lotion.
All right.
Yeah, let's do that.
1 clove?
Yeah, 1 clove. You can go crazy and have 2 if you want to, but 1's probably plenty. And then
pop it in?
Yeah, you can either pop it in, or if you want to smash it up first, kind of whatever you feel like doing. You can be very loose with this. Sometimes I'll just do like the smash it with the side of a knife and then throw it in. We can be pretty rustic on this one.
Okay, I'm just gonna lightly chop it up.
Perfect. That's some real like grandma style hand slicing over the stove. I love it.
Yep, it's how my mom does it, or did it.
Perfect.
Okay.
And then you're going to kind of just let that saute until it starts to get like a little bit of browning around the edges. You're going to keep cooking it with the frozen. So basically,
I'm just gonna do what I
Drain
do.
the beans.
Cooking. I'm gonna make coffee.
Do the beans have any like weird additives, or is it just beans and water and salt? Take a look at the ingredients.
Simple organic black beans.
I think
Ingredients say water, organic black beans, and sea salt.
Some people get weird about the liquid. I actually like the bean water. It gives it like a little starchy element, and it kind of helps combine everything together into more of like a stewy consistently. So we're gonna set those aside for now. We're gonna do the greens first. So how's the garlic looking? Is it getting a little bit of color going?
It's starting to. Stuff's starting to happen.
Great. When it starts to get a little bit of color on the edges, you can throw in your chili flakes and your oregano.
Put in the chili mix?
Yeah, chili flakes and oregano. It's going to kind of start to infuse with the oil and with the spices and get you a nice little bit of flavor in there.
Okay.
You know, however much you want to have for heat in there.
We like chili flakes in this house.
And I'm a big believer in kind of seasoning each step, so you can throw some salt in there now too.
What about the oregano?
Yeah, put the oregano in too. It's going to go with the oil.
You know what? I never did it like this. I usually add it onto the food when I'm cooking the food. I like seasoning it in the oil. That's a great idea.
Yeah, and it kind of, that way it like combines with the whole dish really nicely.
Damn, this is looking good already. I gotta show you guys. Hold on. Put the salt in here.
Rule of cooking in the world that I've learned is that anytime you start sauteing garlic, someone has to come in from somewhere and say, something smells good in here.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Something here. Here.
Look at that. We're already off to a great
Stuff's happening, guys.
The meal is being prepared.
Let's just throw some of that spinach in there.
Okay. Here we go. Chopped spinach going in. It's a really large bag. Is that okay?
I'd say enough to kind of, maybe like a third of the bag, something like that. We're kind of making a portion.
Enough for what?
This is like enough for 1 or 2 people. So I would say,
so we'll do half the bag.
That's probably good. Yeah, that'll be great. This is all about loose, kind of recipe-free cooking. And then you can turn the heat up now a little bit because that spinach is frozen. So it's going to take a minute to kind of get going. You can crank the heat up in there and just kind of start letting it kind of break up and defrost in there as you go.
Okay.
And
I would be tempted to add water to get it to like loosen up, but
we'll see. I don't know if sometimes you can like run it under the sink to defrost it, but we're trying to make this kind of simple home cooking. That's a big block of frozen spinach. Those are that's a large block.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep smashing it down.
Kind of start frying it nice and hot, and that'll speed the process up. Also cover the pot for a couple minutes, and that'll kind of get a little more steam.
Oh, here we go.
There you go. Now we're cooking.
Just a little aggression to get out here, and it all works out.
It's all working out. This is all about getting people to cook at home, not stress about it. A lot of people don't cook that much at home, so they get very intimidated by it. I think a lot of the kind of the modern food landscape really like kind of deifies chefs and makes it seem like it's not for regular people. And I want to go the opposite way and demystify and tell people to cook with what you got. As long as you're willing.
Whistleblower.
Yeah, as long as you're willing to eat it at the end, you pulled it off, and the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Yeah.
And then, so let that kind of keep going until it gets soft enough and starts to get kind of close to where you want it to be. And then,
we're getting there.
You can even
beat that spinach down.
Yeah, you can even throw a little salt on there too.
Okay.
I'm a big believer in seasoning every step of the way.
Okay.
Payment part while we're just waiting for stuff to cook.
You guys have a big day ahead of you?
I have a Zoom conference with all of these like medical leaders later, just getting people together, pooling resources, like who can do what. It's really humbling when you fill out a form and it's like, what can you get that no one else can get? And I'm like, I'm doing a TV show with Maria Menounos later. Like when you realize how limited your resources are as a celebrity, I'm like, I know 2 other famous people. And then you realize as a celebrity how unqualified you are to do most things that people need. Like, I'm not a healthcare worker. I'm not a doctor. I can't cook. So hopefully that's the rest of my day is being on a Zoom call about what resources I have to help.
How's that spinach
I have a
doing?
small Chinese dog.
Starting to bubble a little bit and get a little cooked and less frozen?
Yeah. It's definitely getting mushier.
That's good.
Maria, so what projects do you have coming up? Like, you're doing this, and what else is going on in your life?
This is kind of it right now. I have some other stuff that's on hold. I had a health show that I was about to go out and pitch, where we were going to go and kind of help families in crisis, because my mom has stage 4 brain cancer and is going on it'll be 4 years in August.
Wow.
The median survival is less than 12 months.
Wow.
And so
what is she doing to survive, like to have it for 4 years? Like, is she eating something different?
So it's called having to produce your own health, and it's called like covering every angle, right? So not just doing the few protocols that the hospital gives you. We supplemented her body. We've taken her to Mexico. It's a full throttle like approach to East meets West, and really listening to your gut, and it's a whole thing. And so it's really what people don't realize, when you're already compromised health-wise, you've got a disease that's ravaging your body, and now you're going to throw all these toxic, difficult chemicals into your body, already weak. You need to supplement your body and get it strong so it can handle that. And so we have really created kind of a strong approach that I think will help a lot of people. And so we were about to go do that and pitch it. And then I was like, we have a new health crisis to deal with that nobody knows much about. And so that is on hold for now. But
that approach is one that people could utilize. Like, even if you are sick with this, which does attack your immune system, what else can you be doing as ancillary help, supplemental things? People probably more now than ever.
I know. I think the same thing kind of is the same methods apply. Is like, you have to keep your immune system strong and have to supplement. Like right now in the house, we're all on D3, vitamin zinc, vitamin C. Just before we all went on lockdown, I took my mom to cryo healthcare over on La Cienega, and we did Myers cocktails. She does high dose vitamin C drips so that she's as strong. I think she's the strongest one in our house, to be honest. She's the one even though I worry the most about her in a weird way, I worry about her the least.
And now for a horrible transition,
you
can add the beans.
And for our transition now.
So let's add those beans in there.
Take the beans in?
Yeah, just pour the whole can right in there.
All right, here we go. Beans.
Beans.
I'm gonna move you over here. Look at this. I'm a camera worker. And
what restaurants do you guys like to go to when we're not in a bio war?
We kind of just stay local here in the Valley. Do a lot of sushi.
You ever go to Sushi Note?
Where?
Sushi Note.
No. What's that?
We used to eat so much sushi, and this is not shaming you. We stopped for bio reasons, but also our dog died while we were in Japan. So it kind of put this weird framing around whatever. Mental association. But when we did eat sushi, there's Asanebo, which I'm sure you go to. Well, that's probably the best sushi restaurant in LA is Asanebo on Ventura.
There's a lot of good sushi.
I know, but it's...
Wait, is that the new place that only has like 8 tables or something?
No, that's been around for a
Asanebo's
while.
And then there's Sushi Note, which combines the wine pairings with the sushi, and it's just so lovely. So Sushi Note is our hack for you.
Can that be our first double date when the world comes back?
Absolutely. We would love
Okay.
So little fun, little cross-cultural tip that I like to throw into this sometimes. A little splash of like soy sauce or tamari is a nice little umami note underneath.
Let me get that. Check this out. Soy sauce.
I'm gonna eat in the valley.
I used it when I made yellowfin tuna yesterday for the first time.
Awesome.
And this was so good. Okay, so a drop of this.
little splash of that in there, and then and then just you'll kind of taste it a little bit, and now you can get that other pan going to like a medium heat.
Okay. And do I use a little olive oil or Pam?
I would use olive oil. We'll keep it Mediterranean.
Okay.
Great if you want to go that route, but I'm a big olive oil user. And then at this point, you can start kind of tasting the greens and beans and start, adjusting to your taste. Sometimes if, it's a little dark, you want to brighten it up, you can do a little splash of lemon or something. Or sometimes it's great as
Trying to get my stove to turn on. Oh shit, the one that I wanted now turned on. Okay, there we go. So I got this. Let me throw some olive oil.
And then why don't you taste the greens and beans now? See kind of where it is. A big part of this whole thing is taste as you go and adjust to your own taste.
I would never have put beans in this. This is such a cool idea. Okay.
It's a good way to get some extra protein in too. And it's beans are very sustainable protein. People love to make jokes about how they make you fart. But fun fact,
really fun fact.
The more beans you eat, the better your body is at digesting them. So
no way. This is so good.
Perfect. So then let's get that egg out, and we'll just crack them into the pan when the pan's nice and hot. And we'll just cook the egg until, the way I would do it typically is like till the whites are set and the yolk is runny. You can get that nice little yolky egg porn thing.
Okay.
But if you like it more hard cooked, then do you.
Do I leave this cooking, the spinach?
Just leave it on low, and then when it's ready to go, you'll just put that into a bowl, and then slide your egg right on top.
Okay, stand by. Let me get a bowl. Put this in. Oh, that might be too big of a bowl. Here, I'll put it in this guy. No, I need like a bigger bowl, Dad.
Or
I'll
even
put it in.
Bowl, you make it like an individual portion with it, and if you have enough, then you can, each bowl individually, and kind of go the way. You can do like family style and put some more eggs on it, or you can do individual portion, however you want to do it.
Okay, so I'm gonna pop 2 eggs on this because the portion seems large enough so everybody will enjoy it here.
A lot of spinach.
I got Mom and Dad to feed.
I
got me to feed. So I'm gonna put 2 eggs. Oh shit, I got a little balls.
It's good for your coat. It's okay. You can eat the shell.
Yeah, don't they say
Hold on. I'll get that out. I'm an experienced egg screwer-upper. Okay. Goodbye. Here comes. Oh boy, this is. Don't splat me.
Keep it going. Okay. No,
okay.
No one's gonna make
now.
You
said you want it so it's runny egg but white.
Yeah, the white
has to cook.
But the yolk's runny is the ideal.
Okay.
And then a little salt and pepper on top never hurt anybody.
Okay.
And then once I move on, putting a little hot sauce on top is always a fun bonus. It's a little eye of the beholder. That's it. Just kinda, cooking those up, and we're almost ready here.
Do we have eggs?
No,
I'm starving.
This would be our dinner tomorrow night, actually. We're doing.
What am I gonna eat now for lunch?
I'm gonna make you
leftover John and Vinny.
A salad with from our farmer's market box. We had beets with beet greens attached. So
I don't know what I would do without him.
Roasted the beets. I'm gonna have a little salad. Beet greens, roasted beets, and the rosemary tamari almonds we made on the show yesterday.
Oh, that's a good
with
recipe.
A little bit of cheese and a little nice.
You are so lucky to be quarantined and married to him.
I'm so lucky. But think how much weight I would have lost, like if I didn't have him. So much.
It sounds like he's cooking pretty healthy. We had fried dough last night, and we doused it in butter, powdered sugar, and cinnamon, and it was
on your Instagram.
Double decker too. I went for both.
That's
Sounds
awesome.
Delicious. I mean, I opened a barbecue restaurant and worked in a barbecue restaurant for a long time. So mine kind of, when I cook at home, I tend to cook pretty.
We also just bought a smoker, so he's going to be smoking everything on our balcony.
Yeah, we just announced myself and one of my mentors and good friends, Kevin Bloodsoe of Bloodsoe's Barbecue here in LA. We just got a book deal to write a big, crazy cookbook together that we've been excited about doing for a while. So
wow,
doing some barbecue recipe testing at home. So get ready for me to be smoking briskets pretty soon.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I don't know if you do this, but I cheat to cook the egg and I like wiggle the white open so that the juice will go in and cook.
That's a great one. And if you want to be crazy and try to flip it over and cook the top and do that, but that's a dangerous game because then you end up breaking the yolks a lot of the time. I sometimes try to keep going.
Let's see if you can do it. I feel like it's too big. You got to cut it in half. Oh boy. The stakes have never been higher.
See. Just like a little gentle.
There you go. And then a little kiss on that side. And then we're pretty much going to be ready to go in a second.
Gentle, gentle. Ah!
You're doing great.
Yes.
So now you can plate up those beans and greens. Put the beans and greens in your platter. And then just lay the eggs on top. And we're ready to
lay the eggs. What do you think? I'm a chicken? That was my desperate attempt to be funny.
Well, the world needs everything it can get right now.
Seriously. Okay. Let me shut this off.
Yes, we made a little meal here with, the only fresh ingredients, which last for a long time.
And our attitudes were fresh.
Our attitudes were fresh.
And our outlooks were fresh.
So my mom used to be the chef in the house, and we wrote that book, The Ever Girl's Guide to Cooking, together. And she is the master at like healthy, quick, few ingredient dishes. And so when my mom got sick, my dad, who had never cooked, became a master chef.
Oh, wow.
And taught himself instantly. And he makes these amazing organic soups and everything. And so it's funny because like I can see him lately. He's like, I can't think of anything else to make. I'm, bored. So I've been stepping in and helping. And I'm sure he's going to be very, very happy as his blood sugar is very low right now. He's going to be so happy to not have to cook something today.
Well, vitamins and protein and fiber is what we're getting in today. So a nice little, and then, I would say just lay those eggs ready to go.
Okay.
Wow, I've had 5 cups of coffee. I'm ready to go. Okay, we got to see it.
Guys, hold up. I'm going to have a big reveal.
What do they call it? The bite call?
Yeah, a nod.
And the reveal of Noah's creation.
It's beautiful.
Da-da-da-da.
It's very healthy.
It's vegetarian Thanksgiving.
What'd you say, Mom? My mom wants to see it. Yes. Yes, you can see it.
The ultimate judge.
So Noah cooked up, taught me how to cook frozen spinach with black beans and eggs. Look at this.
Bird.
Oh, wow. Good, right?
Oh, wow. That's all she said. Oh, wow.
Our new
She's
show.
like, get me in. She's on a steroid. It makes her so hungry.
Oh.
So this is our magnificent masterpiece. You guys, what a pleasure. This is my first cooking demo ever.
That's so great.
We have to take a bite and do the smile. You have to take a bite and show.
Should I do that?
And you have
but
to
then okay, hold on. I'm going to put it in a plate. One second.
Bite. Is that a Belgian Malinois or a Shepherd?
It's a German Shepherd. He's a giant German Shepherd. He's almost 130 pounds.
Beautiful.
He's pretty massive. The love of my life.
Yeah.
My everything. The reason I breathe.
Yeah.
I tell him every day.
Your husband loved hearing that.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So here's my portion for now. Okay, we got the egg. I gotta make sure I get enough egg with the beans and all of this together.
The good news is, even if it's bad, it's healthy, so it's fine.
Yeah. Tasty.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, really? Never would I have thought of putting an egg on this thing. Never would I have thought to put beans and spinach. This is like a delicious meal. It took 2 seconds.
That's it.
That's our life.
Yay! Oh, stop it.
When we go to dinner, she will be in a bag under the table. We take her everywhere.
Oh, she'll be home now. She likes.
Okay. You're supposed to yes.
I love it.
This podcast and all related content published or distributed by or on behalf of Maria Menounos or MariaMenounos.com is for informational purposes only and may include information that is general in nature and that is not specific to you. Any information or opinions expressed or contained herein are not intended to serve as or replace medical advice, nor to diagnose, prescribe, or treat any disease, condition, illness, or injury, and you should consult the healthcare professional of your choice regarding all matters concerning your health, including before beginning any exercise, weight loss, or healthcare program. If you have or suspect you may have a healthcare emergency, please contact a qualified healthcare professional for treatment. Any information or opinions provided by a guest expert or host featured within website or on company's podcast are their own, not those of Maria Menounos or the company. Accordingly, Maria Menounos and the company cannot be responsible for any results or consequences or actions you may take based on information or opinions.